Hello viewers! Today I'm going to make ube flavored makgeolli, purple yam. If you like this video, please click that like button and subscribe. So I was very excited to find this ube dehydrated powder. I hope this would be fermentable. Ube is not taro. Ube is more purple and more fun. So we're going to make a porridge out of this with a package of ube and rice powder and 800 milliliters of water. I'm going to make the first stage of my brew is to heat this until it thickens and then cool it down. And as we're waiting for this to cool to room temperature, get the Naruk ready. It's the same amount of starch, so I'm using the same amount of Naruk and a little bit of yeast and 200 milliliters of water. So stir that up, let it sit for a while, and we'll mix that in after it cools down. Okay, so it's cooled down. And carefully put that in the fermentation jar here. And then Naruk, and mix that together really well. So ube is a really purple color. It's the purple color of the Filipino desserts. You might have seen that before. So I thought that would be a fun ingredient to try with makgeolli. The question is, will it ferment? And yes, it will. It is fermenting. I'm stirring it 3 times a day for the first 2 days. You can see the bubbles. It's getting to be a layer on top, so it's good that I'm stirring it frequently. On day 2, I'm going to do the second stage, which is the hard steamed rice, the godubap. So get the sweet rice, wash it for 15 minutes, and we're going to soak it, and then drain the rice. After that, rice will be ready to steam. Get the steamer ready, wrap it up, and it'll steam for 40 minutes. And carefully unwrap it, and we're going to lay it out to cool. We're going to spread out the rice and cool it to room temperature. So this is the second stage. So the yeast has been multiplying and now it needs some more food. So I was hoping that since this ube was powdered, it would be more fermentable. Otherwise, there might be some challenges with fermenting certain kinds of starches. It might be more difficult. So I was hoping that the fact that it was powdered and dehydrated, that would help it ferment. Okay, mix that in by hand and put it away to ferment. Now the next day, okay, is it fermenting? Let's do the match test. Oh, it sure is. It is fermenting away. So I can hear it, I can see bubbles. Okay, but not progressing too fast. Temperatures are pretty cool. Top looks dry today, so I'm going to stir it again. So you can see some liquid, more liquidy part collecting on the bottom. So I'm really going to let this go as long as possible. I do want it to ferment as much as possible. And yeah, today, okay, the match stays lit. So maybe I could bottle it. I'm going to let it continue. Just want to get a little more progress here. Might have stalled a bit. There are still some bubbles. So since I can still hear a few bubbles, I let it go. Okay, day 17, day 18. Okay, that's quite a long time. So let's do a little replay of the fermentation. Just watch it ferment here. Okay, time to bottle. Can't wait any longer. It's quite a pink color. Let's see what it's like after it's filtered. I'm going to try to pour the whole thing into my filter bag here. You need to use as big a bowl as possible. I'm going to have to squeeze this. Okay, so quite pink liquid coming out. So proportionally by weight, it's only 5% ube, this brew. So we're not getting the full purple color, we're just getting the pink. There's 535 grams left over. That's quite a bit, so that tells you, okay, my fermentation wasn't great. I get about 1.5 liters of output, but it is nice and smooth. Let's see how it tastes. Okay, so the texture is very nice. No problem at all with the texture. It's actually pretty sharp, a bit harsh, especially at the beginning. Quite harsh. In the middle, I get a bit of sweetness and floral. That's the ube. That's what's left of the ube. And then at the end, unfortunately, it's quite bitter. I'm not sure that's because of the long fermentation. Oh, you see when it settles, the solids are all rice and all the color is in the liquid. So that's surprising. That is a very bright color in the liquid portion. Unfortunately, it is has a bitter finish. Not quite what I wanted. It was a fun experiment. If you enjoy ube, have it in a dessert. You don't need to make it into makgeolli, but I did just to try it out. Well, thank you for watching.